Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I have another Bible journaling process for you guys. Now, I know there are all kinds of fun new goodies releasing this week from all the different companies, but I'm still wrapping up and finishing April's kits and projects. So I'm still working in the Confetti kit from Illustrated Faith. I'm working on, I think this is the third session of the devotional. I'm slowly working my way through. You can see I am taking notes and responding to the prompts and things like that. So I'm savoring it. I'm taking it all in. So today I'm working on prompt number 3, where we are journaling in Numbers chapter 6, verses 24 through 26, which says, "May the Lord bless you and protect you. May the Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord look with you with favor on you and give you peace." And so we are talking about how God likes to celebrate us, and not just once a year on birthdays, but every day he rejoices in us and finds joy in us, and just how special that is. So I'm going to be documenting that here in my Bible. I have a few things that I pulled out, of course, tons of the extra goodies that you could get from Illustrated Faith. None of these are, I don't know, Confetti kit might still be available in the physical kit, but the add-on bundles, I think they are out of. But you may be able to find some of the extra goodies from scrapbook.com. I'll try to find them and link them down below for you guys. But I have a bunch of like the puppy stickers, and I'm going to create a shaker element. So I have one of the frames that came in the die cuts from the physical kit. I have a piece of clear transparency, and then I have the confetti that came in the envelope from the kit when I received it. And I'm going to create a little shaker element directly into the margin of my Bible. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So let me go ahead and put you on fast forward, and we will put this entry together. Okay, so I'm going to start by kind of assembling parts of the shaker element. So I have my acetate piece here, and I'm going to link some acetate or some transparency down below for you guys, but you can just use like plastic packaging from your trash will work for this. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. So I'm just applying some double-sided adhesive to the back side of this frame. I have that linked down below as well for you guys. I like this one because it's really strong and really thin. It's perfect for making shaker elements like this. So I'm just going to remove the backing and then adhere down that transparency sheet. And so this is going to be the front of our shaker window. And I didn't have it quite lined up right, so I'm just going to trim off any excess there. Now, I do go ahead and run an EK Success powder tool over the front and the back. This just helps take down any of the static that might be happening with that transparency, and any like fingerprints or anything like that that might make confetti or glitter stick to it. I'm not going to use glitter today, but if you were using glitter, the EK Success powder tool helps it so it doesn't just cling to the transparency. So on the front of this shaker element, I'm going to use some of the puffy stickers that were in like the extra bundle that you could pick up. And then I'm actually going to stamp one of these images directly onto the transparency. There's this little speech bubble that says, "Let's celebrate." And for stamping on transparencies, this is one of the few times that I will use Stays On ink. I don't love Stays On ink, but it's specifically created for stamping on slick surfaces like this. And so this is kind of the one ink that you do want to use for stamping on transparency. And just, be careful because it is, a slippery surface. But you can see there, now I've got that image stamped on there. Now, when I create shaker elements, I typically use foam adhesive on the back side, but 2 reasons why not today. I'm all out of foam adhesive, and foam adhesive is very dimensional. So I wanted to show you guys an option if you didn't want to add a lot of bulk, if you're working in like a traditional journaling Bible or a journal, something like that, and you don't want to use foam adhesive. This is another way to add a little bit of lift to your shaker window without too much dimension. So I just have some 110-pound cardstock. This is some nice, thick, heavy quality cardstock, and I'm cutting these super thin strips, and then I'm actually going to double these strips up. So basically it'll be like 2 pieces of heavyweight cardstock is going to act as my foam adhesive. So you can see I'm going to adhere these to the back side of my frame, and again I'm doubling those up, so two strips one on top of each other. And one of the key things with shaker windows is you want to make sure that this step, whether you're using foam adhesive or cardstock like I am here, you want to make sure that all the edges are butted up against each other so there's no open areas where the glitter or confetti or whatever shaker element you have in there, you don't want it to fall out from behind this frame. So you just want to make sure that everything is nice and tight together. So there you see, I just put a piece of confetti on the desk just to make sure that there was going to be enough lift with that frame that the confetti will move around behind this window, and it worked just perfect even for this chunky silicone confetti. So before I stick that down, I am going to go ahead and add some more of these puffy stickers to the front of this window. At this point, I'm kind of nearing the end of this devotional kit, so I'm kind of just throwing everything at my entries, and there's just so many cute items for this kit, so I just have to use all the things. I wanted to use this like holographic glitter star, but it didn't make the cut. It didn't end up in there, but so before I stick down that shaker window, I'm going to fill in this white space up at the top here. So I've pulled out the banner stamps from the stamp set and some Versamagic inks in a bunch of different colors. And what you may not be able to see on screen is I actually off camera kind of penciled in a like curved line at the top here to create this like bunting, and that pencil line is just giving me a guideline for where my stamped banners need to go. And I'm just kind of randomly alternating colors and the different shapes of banners. I probably should have pulled in some of that like minty green color, but I didn't. It's okay. I was trying not to use like every single color, but in the end I ended up using every single color on this entry. So you can see just going back and forth, alternating. You want to be very careful with Versamagic inks because they are a chalk ink, and so they stay wet for a very long time. I ended up smudging some of this because I drug my hand over the top of it. So you may want to stop and use your heat tool to dry it periodically. So over the pencil line, I just went over it with the precision pen from Illustrated Faith. And so now I've got this fun little banner that's just adding some color and just kind of taking up some of the empty space that's going to be at the top of this entry here. Now I want it to look like this strand is behind where I'd already stamped, so I'm just quickly, roughly cutting out a mask out of a Post-it note to cover up that one banner. And so when I stamp this, now you can see it looks like that banner piece is actually behind that red banner. Same thing with this one here. I can just use that same triangle shape to mask off that blue, and now it looks like the purple is behind it. So I was kind of lazy. I didn't want to do any crazy masking, so I tried to just make it work with what I had on my desk. And here's where I realized there's this little bow stamp in there as well. So I originally had drawn in the little bows on my bunting, but I will go back in and actually stamp those in with that stamp from the stamp set. I'm going to use some black Versamagic ink for this as well. I think there is a spot at some point in the video where I flip the page over and you can see these inks do not bleed through in my illustrating Bible. So now we can start preparing the shaker element to be adhered down. So again, I'm pulling out that really thin double-sided adhesive and I'm just applying this over that cardstock that's on the back. Again, being sure that it's nice and tight, no open gaps where the confetti can fall out. And then I can go ahead and remove the backers. I've done a few different shaker elements on my channel before. Card making videos. If you want questions about shaker elements, watch card making videos because they are like the masters of shaker elements, and that's where I kind of learn how to do these techniques and then just make it work in the margins of my Bible. So I'm going to go ahead and just dump that confetti kind of in the general area where I know that that shaker element's going to be, and I'm just making sure that they're not like stacked up on each other because there, like I said, there is not a lot of dimension with this piece. And so now I can stick that down and all that confetti is trapped behind that window but can still move around because we added those 2 layers of cardstock. So just a fun shaker element without it being super, super bulky, like it would be if you used foam adhesive. So now we're just going to dress things up. Like I said, trying to use up some of the stickers. I'm going to layer some of this washi tape just to bring in little pops of blue. And this entry is all about celebration, celebrating that God celebrates us and finds joy in us. And so I just wanted a big, bold party in my Bible margin. I did a lot of my kind of prayer journaling and note taking within the devotional booklet itself, and so the entries for this kit that I'm doing in my Bible are mostly just like big bold parties in the margins with little short prayers. But you can adapt it to however works for you. I usually do a little bit more like journaling and writing than I did with this kit in my Bible, but it was just too much fun. There was just too many fun things to play with. That tab there is from the sticker sheet that came with the kit. I did go ahead and fold it over on itself before I adhered it down to the page. That's just how I like to adhere those down, and then used one of the Confetti stickers from that sticker sheet. So after I did my prayer journaling there, I have a little bit more blank space at the bottom. Blank space is okay. I usually try to leave white space, but I'm just, like I said, throwing everything at it. So I pulled out some more die cuts from the kit, and I'm just going to layer these in that blank spot down here. I'm going to let that kind of hang off the bottom of the page and just trim off any excess there. And that's just going to pull some more red down to the bottom and kind of balance everything out. So there is a look at the finished entry. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those down below. Check out the description box below the video for links to everything that I used today. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.